Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming tonight. My name's Peter Houghton, and I'm a member of the United States military as a supply sergeant for the Maine Army National Guard. Tonight, I'm going to share a few instructional thoughts on how military occupation can serve as a platform for God's values. Now, a member of the community may find that a military presence is soothing because of the values that it brings to that community. These very values directly relate to those that God refers to in His Word through Scripture, the Bible. Military influences within a nation's many communities can serve as a platform for God's many values. Peace, justice, and mercy are all valued by both God and the military. Each of these have a specific meaning in the English language, but they all have a special meaning with the military. God values peace. Now, the military teaches and longs for peace. The definition of peace, according to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, is a state of tranquility or quiet as a freedom from civil disturbance. Now, God referred to His value of peace in the Bible, and we can find His value of peace in chapter 3, verse 18 of the book of James. And the fruit of the righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. Now, God explains that peace brings about a righteousness, and those who find the righteousness, it brings about a righteousness made from those who make it. Now, the military makes peace around the world. We have a duty to uphold the peace of mankind. Now, George Washington, in his very first inaugural address, the first of the countries, as a matter of fact, stated, "To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace." This quote is very similar to that of God's, in God's scripture, in that those who prepare for peace will have it. God values justice. At the base of justice is the word just. To be just, according to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, is the acting or being in conformity with what is morally upright or good. To uphold justice, we must conform to what is morally right. Now, where do we find what's morally right? The Bible. God tells us what is morally correct, what's morally right, how to act, the law of God. Now, a man by the name of Mark Morris spoke at a convention for the blind, and he quoted a judge, Billings' learned hand, and that judge stated, "To do justice is the tolerable combination of the conflicting interests of society." Now, that judge was a professor of law at the University of California in Berkeley. To find what is morally right, as I said, we turn to the Bible. But one instance is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 3, reads, "To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice." That's powerful. God values justice over sacrifice. The military values justice so much that they spend countless amounts of money trying to preserve it. God values mercy as well. Now, mercy is the leniency or compassionate treatment towards others, according to the Merriam-Webster. So to have mercy would be to show that leniency and compassion. God explains His mercy in Romans chapter 11, verses 30 to 32, which reads, "For as ye in times past have not believed God, yet have now obtained the mercy through their unbelief, even so have these also now not believed, that through your mercy they also may obtain mercy. For God hath concluded them all in unbelief, that He might have mercy upon all." Now, the military shows mercy with compassion. A lieutenant colonel of the United States Air Force named Shannon Klug actually was quoted in stating that she believes that medevac units are another example of extreme compassion in the military. Now, these members of the military have a job to care and treat for others. They use compassion to do that. I actually recently interviewed a soldier in my unit named Sergeant Timothy Jacobs, who happens to have battlefield medic experience. He is a battlefield medic. He's been to Iraq and Afghanistan twice. He quoted, once I asked him what he thought about compassion, he stated, "You don't think of compassion on the battlefield. You think of training, military training. The military trains you the compassion you need to get someone whom you have never met out of harm's way and back home. Now we, as members of the military, live the same values that God has set for us. God values peace, justice, and mercy. Military influences within a nation's community can serve as a platform for those values. I'm going to leave you with a quote. As part of his inaugural address, President Eisenhower stated, "A people that values its privileges above its principles soon loses both." Think about that. If you value your privileges above your principles, you're not going to have anything. Thank you for your time tonight, and thank you for coming. Drive safe on the way home.